Hi, everybody, and welcome to another edition of Cape Celebrates, where we highlight our team members who contribute back to the community in the spirit of HPE of trying to improve the way people live and work. Today, I'm joined by Albie Haddam. She leads our Global Lead program, but I did a little reading, and she does way more than that out in the community. So I'm so impressed by this. I don't know how we can contain it in the short amount of time that we have, but could you kind of explain a little bit about how you're giving back to the community and some of the things that you're doing?
Yeah, I think that's a great question. And just like many people here at HPE, I started volunteering at a very young age. And I just wanted to keep that up and ingrain those values in my own family as I was raising my family. Kids Meals, which we'll get into a little more about, allows a younger kid to come in and volunteer with their parents, which is great flexibility. And it really helps navigate those conversations and those feelings you have as a kid and as an adult between wants and needs, because it's very easy for a teenager or myself to be like, oh, I want those new Air Jordans, right? And I think that you realize when you go and you pack meals for a 4-year-old who won't have lunch, that you realize that those Air Jordans are a want, not a need, and that need is actually food.
Wow, and where do you volunteer the most?
Yeah, I think recently, probably the last 10 or 15 years, a lot of my time spent over at Kids Meals. And over at Kids Meals, there's just a variety of things that you can do. You can work in the warehouse to where you're moving pallets of food. You can answer the desk at the reception area. You can pack lunches, make homemade granola, make lunches there, or even do some of these activities at home. So it gives flexibility to, maybe busy work schedules or kids that just need an activity when they're homesick or you're trying to keep them occupied. So Kids Meals gives just a variety, which makes it exciting for me.
And could you talk a little bit more about what the situation these kids are in and why you do this for them?
Yeah, the stats that I've been learning, Kids Meals has been giving out over 11,000 meals a day.
Whoa, I thought you were going to say a year.
a day,
Wow.
Which is wild, on weekdays, which
Yep.
is wild to me. And I was reading more and more as I was going there, and it's 1 out of 4 kids in Houston, preschool age or younger, are hungry. So you can do little things like, donate money to make a lunch or go make the lunch. And I think one of the cooler things that your team participates in is like making the decorated bags. And I was always like, why are these decorated bags so vital to this organization? And they were like, oh, it really takes away that element of shame. Because if you're a 3 or a 4-year-old, you don't really understand why someone else is giving you a lunch rather than your mom or your dad or your grandparents or whoever. And this kind of takes away that feeling of getting a free lunch and having joy attached to it instead of shame, I need a lunch from somebody else.
Thank you for explaining. That's pretty amazing. What does it mean to you to work for a company that offers the volunteer day offs, HPE gives? What does that mean to you?
It's a lot to me. I mean, I've been in tech for a really long time, and this is the first company I've ever seen that gives time off for volunteering. I've noticed a lot of people come into the organization and they don't realize that we get 60 hours a year available to use flexibly, however you'd like, to go work at any volunteer organization that you want. Whatever you want to do to kind of help build back up your connection with your community, HPE offers. And then they do this really cool thing where you log your hours and then they convert it to a monetary amount that you can also give to whatever, nonprofit you'd like. So win-win.
I actually didn't know that. So that's good for all of you out there that your actual days that you work can be converted to monetary. That's super cool. Yeah. And by the way, folks, the Kids Meals is actually a registered charity and HPE gives. And so recently my folks were all together in Houston and we had a chance to contribute in a small way to doing this and decorating the lunch bags. And then thank you for explaining why we were doing that. So that's like super cool. But Kids Meal isn't the only thing that you do.
Yeah.
Maybe you can kind of tell the folks what the other things that you're involved in.
Well, when I mentioned that I started volunteer work when I was really young, that's because I grew up in the 1900s, which history books can teach you. I was one of those kids that was left home alone while their mom worked in the summer. So I was told, don't open the door, don't turn on the stove, and don't call and bug me at work. Find something to do. And I think I took that to like an extreme. And I had found a gap that we did not have any sort of recycling program in our neighborhood. Long story short, it's all I did all summer, like got very obsessive about it, and ended up building an entire recycling program for the city of Houston, which, you know, I got all the support from mayors and state reps and city council people. So it really blew out of control once I set my mind to it, but you know, it's fantastic. I love giving back to the place that's kept me feeling safe and connected all these years.
Well, I don't know what to say. It's just super impressive. It's inspired me. I got to get off my butt and get out there and do some more things. But I want to really thank you for sharing your story with everybody. I think everyone will agree with me. Like, super impressive. Hopefully inspires other people to do that. And if other folks are doing this as well, please come in and tell us your stories. But that concludes another episode of Cape Celebrates. Thanks, Elby.
Thanks.
Hey.